Already unstable, but now teetering on what looks like a meltdown. After the quake and the tsunami, a blast at the Daiichi nuclear power plant in Fukushima. Its sheer power plain to see. Reports that the roof of one of the reactors had caved in offered a worrying sign that the containment building may have been breached. This picture was taken directly after the explosion. It shows 4 reactors. The one on the furthest left, circled in yellow, no longer has its outer structure. Several workers were reportedly injured in the blast. Engineers at the plant about 240 kilometers north of the Japanese capital Tokyo have been furiously trying to cool the reactor to reduce pressure in its metallic core. In normal conditions, the core of the reactor is kept cool by pushing water or coolant through to the top of the reactor as it produces power. During an emergency, control rods are inserted into the core to stop electricity production. The core remains very hot, but the water or coolant keeps it under control. But the earthquake wasn't the end of it. The ensuing tsunami destroyed the electrical grid and diesel generators that would normally keep the water moving. Batteries are then the last resort to run the pumps, and they only have a lifespan of 8 hours. Once the batteries fail, one option is to relieve the pressure inside the boiling reactor by a controlled release of steam. The ultimate task will be to prevent the further leakage of radioactive material. But as the evacuation radius in Fukushima keeps extending, there are fears that it may already be too late.
Within 10 minutes of losing the cooling, the fuel was doomed. And then it followed a cycle which we know at 3 Mile Island was occurring. 3 Mile Island stopped because the containment dome didn't fail. This one, it seems as though the containment zone's out. So now it moves on into another area, another level of magnitude, where the radioactivity is available for release. Some of it has been probably violently ejected into the atmosphere and is now being carried by wind and weather somewhere else. So it's happening at the moment.
And as the mammoth relief operation continues to victims all across the country, the race is on to prevent a nuclear meltdown in the middle of a horrifying natural disaster. Sonia Gallego, Al Jazeera.